And welcome back, everyone, to the FSL Valorant Open 3. We are your casters. Hey, I'm Quack, and the Mirrorverse is going
Uh,
to be.
I'm Kiki, and I am still in Quack's room, unfortunately. So, or
Alternate
fortunately, I'm not
timeline.
sure. Yes, it's a different timeline. We're not in the
Oh
same
my
spot. You
god.
can see that the time of the day is actually different from his room to his room and my version
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah. I'm in the Singapore time, 2 p.m. So it's a little bit brighter. I
Mhm.
guess I don't know, but yeah, we're
It's
gonna
legit.
have. I think okay. I still can't get that play out of my head earlier on K4 the sheriff. It gives me real what do you call it? Envious, happy. Up from Banana with the Deagle. That play
Yeah.
it gives me vibes like that. But
Yeah. Okay. That was exactly the feeling. I
right.
think you're right. Exactly that. It's a long corridor, and then they just go for like a triple headshot. Unfortunately, it wasn't an ace, but that triple was insane, and you could tell that she was feeling it after that. Like she was
And
hunting for the Reina.
if I recall, wasn't it she had that against a full buy?
Yeah,
And then they won the round because of that one play. It's
exactly.
incredible. If we had that on the second game of the day, the third game is just it's gonna get better. And
Yeah,
what we
and
have right now, third game, is Team Phenomenal versus KOMOREBI Hearts.
KOMOREBI Hearts, and I believe they do have a sister team in the same
Yes, same group
group.
as well.
Unfortunately, they're eliminated. The KOMOREBI Royals.
Royals.
So Phenomenal versus KOMOREBI Hearts. I believe Phenomenal. We watched. Did we watch them last Open 2? Sounds very
Mm,
familiar. Phenomenal. Maybe not. So it's
maybe not.
Phenomenal is Nice, Victoria, Lunar Light, Baby, Mohiko, Mojiko, Pew Pews, and Chalkmint. Oh, more food again.
Oh my
And
god.
on the side of the Komorebi Hearts, it's a new team. So it's Scarlet, Nyarks,
Yes.
Kababe,
Yeah.
Candy Fam, Lolita, and Karo KV. So gonna be interesting. I want to see what these teams bring to the table. And they are going to the draft right now. And again, I just can't get over Team Impaler, but I'm also excited to see more teams come into
Yes.
this game. And let's see, it's gonna be split. Okay, another new map. Well, new map today. So we've had what was the
We
first
had
map? Was Haven. We
Bind.
had no, it was Haven.
Oh right, Haven.
Haven, Icebox, and now a split.
Haven Icebox. That's right, that's right. Alright. I'm a little bit lost in this original timeline. But anyway, it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's gonna be
yeah.
split. And I think that's the thing that we love to see, especially for FSL Valorant. Some of these players have participated in previous FSL Valorant Opens before, but then they form new teams, and especially in all the other groups as well. I'm seeing a lot of new teams coming in, and that a lot more participation. It just means more competition, potentially a lot more um, new players who could maybe go up against Alter Ego Celeste, and it's very fun to watch. But right now, it's at least on Split. This is a map that
Select your agent.
when the game first came out. I mean, again, happy birthday, Valorant! It's the first year
1 year.
anniversary. Yeah,
Yeah, for Southeast Asia especially.
and they sent out all that awesome panda and spike cake stuff. But I mean, okay, when
Like you
Valorant
crave
first
for.
came out, yeah, we're
Yeah.
thinking of food so much. When Valorant first came out, Split, sorry, was one of those maps that people tend to think is heavily defender sided. But I think now with the changes and with a lot more agents and different ways to use utility, it's become a little bit more balanced. It just depends on how you play it. But I want to see what these teams have in store for us. Looking at their agent composition, it seems fairly reminiscent of stuff that we see perhaps from Korea, from previous teams. Again, Komorebi Hearts and Phenomenal. Komorebi might be, I guess, kind of new, but some of the players are familiar. They have played FSL Valorant before. Phenomenal, on the other hand, they've been playing since the very first open. It's just unfortunate that they have not quite yet made it out of the group stages. This could be the one, though. This could be the game where they have their chance to, they got more experience than Komorebi. Maybe they could make their way out of group stages and proceed on to playoffs. Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, and what I like a lot about seeing new teams is the names, and I feel like looking at team names. We've looked at team names. There was a new team called Revealing Area, which is the Silver reference, right?
Oh my god.
Like I just find it extremely funny. Like I just like looking at the names, and Candy Fam is gonna open it up with a quick kill onto Baby Mohiko, and actually uses the dismiss there instead of healing up. So that's something that you always have to choose when you're Reina, right? Do you overheal here and leave yourself open, or do you dismiss to safety? I think dismissing to safety is more than normal the safest choice.
Yeah, I mean, if there were more than one player pushing up, they try to go in for a trade. Of course, that is where your dismiss comes in handy. But yeah, on a map like Split, we see two Sages. Sage is just incredibly strong in this map. And you get to control so much of mid with your wall alone, but Lolita almost gets caught up with her slow orb in hand. Now deploys it, which means they have control somewhat, at least delaying this push over from Male. In fact, first in towards vents where they will take Candy Fam down, and it looks like the entire squad will be making their way down.
Coming back. They're gonna be very careful here. There is someone trying to cut the rotate. The Killjoy on the attacking side is watching defense, and they're not going to go through there though, and the spike gets stuck.
10 seconds.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, they actually had it in a Sage, and I don't think they can get the spike in time now, or plant it in time rather. They just need to survive here. There is indeed no time, and Karo just has to. Okay, they're just picking each other up for more kills here. Lunar Light. If I were Lunar Light, I'd want to die there.
Yeah, so you get your round loss bonus.
Yeah, so look at Lunar Light's economy. She has a ghost, but she only has 1.5k. Okay, 1.5k is enough to get you through the next round to 3.9, but you don't get any extra utility. So she just has one Nano Swarm right now. But had she died there, she'd have 2.3k instead of 1.5 because she got a kill. So that's an extra 200. But going in 2.3k means that you could actually refresh your utility because you'll have 4.7k the next round.
Absolutely.
So
that's
I think
why we only see her with one Nano Swarm in this round.
Exactly. That's 800 extra creds, and I feel like you still get an ultimate orb. I mean, you just give one ultimate point to the enemy raise, which maybe they want to deny, but economy is really important in Valorant, and I feel like these micro decisions in your economy will really make or break your rounds.
Deleted.
I mean, it also counts for the ultimate orbs as well, but here we go. It's going to be a rush in towards the B side with curveball, but does not clear out Karo, who is the sub for KOMOREBI Hearts, which this is incredible. They're making this work. 4v3 now, and the entire attack
got one.
But Lunar Light able to lurk, does find one, immediately gets traded. Now
one enemy remaining.
Players are just gonna get destroyed by Candy Fam with a Spectre. She sees QQs, she has her number. She's going to dial with her teammate. There we go. 2-0 is the standard start for KOMOREBI Hearts.
Yeah, and again, Candy Fam using the dismiss. What she did was after the first kill, immediately dismisses, hides, and then goes for a peek again. Like, you just don't want to get caught mid spray and then having to transfer. If you dismiss and you fight on your own terms, and that's what's frustrating about playing against good Reynas, right? Like when you play against good Reynas in pubs, it feels like you just can't ever catch them, because what happens after they get a first kill is they dismiss out, they hide, and then you have to re-engage them in a fresh duel all over again. So there's no trading, and that's why it's not fun to play against a good Reyna, because like you can't really trade.
Yikes.
Oh my god. Well, the sudden change in aggression. I mean, we were talking about Reyna, but this time it's going to be Khabib. I mean, utilizing the Spectre in a close-range duel. Now she picks up a weapon for free. It's 5v4, and KOMOREBI Hearts has the numbers advantage as well. This is pretty difficult. They have two panels open, but they don't clear the back sight. And Karo just finds another frag for free. A double now. And Hughes has to back away. Lunar Light able to make one trade happen, but Karo just brings it back in towards her team's favor. 1v4. What can Lunar Light do in this situation? Not much, as she gets sprayed down by Karo again, and not to mention the Leer, which has made things so much more difficult.
And that was supposed to be the bonus round for Phenomenal. They had full guns, and it was all Spectres for KOMOREBI Hearts, but because they had 4 members survive in that round. They get 4 free upgrades, and that's
Placing
probably the
alarm
worst outcome. Or the
Placing
only
swarm
worst
grenade.
outcome is having 5 of them survive an upgrade as well. And 4 free upgrades for KOMOREBI Hearts. Phenomenal are down. They can't do a full buy right now, and KOMOREBI Hearts has a full buy plus a cushy economy to go the next 2 to 3 rounds without any issues.
Super cushy. Not to mention, I mean, they managed to pick up some weapons for free. Now, Phenomenal with Sheriffs, you know, they don't seem to have a plan with their attacks. They try to make their way into sites, but they are met with a lot of resistance. Whether it's going to be an aggressive frag, that like what we're trying to see from KOMOREBI right now, or it's going to be the safe call over by mid. But this time around, it's a lot of Sheriff rounds being traded. Pew Pew does take KOMOREBI down
them.
though, which might make things a little bit more doable. They pick up the weapon, still have yet to make their way onto the site, but that Paranoia definitely gave away the open position.
One
Here goes
enemy
Scarlet.
remaining.
Wow, just goes in
Spike
from elbow,
down
takes
A.
2 players down, and now Candy Fan calls it clear. They call it the Victorian is 1v3, and yep, Lolita knows where she is.
And they just have to keep guessing though. It feels like KOMOREBI Hearts, if you looked at their setups every single round, the only one static is the Sage on Mailroom, which is the default position for the Sage. But what's going on is that they're shuffling their defenses every single time. Jet, we saw her on B, now
Garage,
she's in
yeah.
A, and now she's playing A again. Killjoy was rotated from middle and then played A, and now it's actually going to B side. So the reason why Phenomenal are having a very difficult time executing is because they never know when how the setup actually is
Exactly.
every single round. And on Split, which is already notoriously a defender-sided map, if you have to guess the defensive setup every single round, it just makes it so difficult to go in.
It's one of those things that's like, I like to think about, you know, okay, there is a pause for now, but I guess, wait, actually, I think our producer just said, yeah, there's a tactical pause. Might have been called by the defender side, which is
Yeah.
interesting. So they want to continue to think about how they want to switch up their defenses, and they're going to be able to continue winning. I mean, it's 4-0. We might see a 5-0 now, but I don't want to count Phenomenal out. They do have the weapons in this round. But this is the thing. You think about Valorant as especially when, you know, attack defense, the defenders essentially, it's maybe like, you know, you ever take math tests and they are essentially presenting the attackers with a problem. Like, here, this is the problem sum. How do you solve it? You're gonna need to get some information and then try to figure out how to break your way in. But when they keep changing up and posing new questions to the attackers, they can't quite find an answer, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, and it looks like the Reyna is going to be disconnected.
He's on B this time.
Yeah, they're trying to go on B, but like there's actually a 3 stack on B right now, and I feel like even with one disconnected player, it seems like they'll probably still be able to take this round because they've been playing really well.
Let's see where the Sage is from the attacker side. Phenomenal Sage. She's up towards top mid, and I don't think KOMOREBI knows that she's there. Scarlet's just gonna burn. Could have teleported away, but okay.
She found a spot.
She's alive. Wow.
There was a spot that wasn't getting hit, and she just like inched towards it.
Oh my god. Shadows traveling. Smoke goes out. Might have given her position away. She gets checked. It's going to be Nice, who takes her life with a headshot. And now they have the site. Spike goes down. 4v4 retake. They try to make it happen, but Nice is shutting them down one by one. KOMOREBI makes it even though. And here we go. Retakes.
One enemy remaining.
Candy Fam is doing some work as well. It's all up to Ludenlight in the 1v2. KOMOREBI dashes in, and she doesn't quite react in time. 5-0. And it's insane. These Killjoy lockdown in place buys a lot of time. They try to flush Scarlet out. She found a spot, and it just buys time for a team to rotate over. Everything happened according to KOMOREBI's plan.
Karo's the sub here, but she's definitely, I think,
oh my god, yes.
currently has the strongest showing right now, and Killjoy is all the way on A side right now. Let's see if they can actually finally pursue, but it looks like the defenders are going for another timeout because of, I believe, my guess is it's some connectivity issues. Candy Fam
Maybe.
is just not moving, so either technical or connectivity issues on her side. but it's going to be a 1-minute pause. And now we actually see this is a pause that Riot has implemented in their in the custom tournament games. You actually have the timeouts, which gives you a minute to either strategize or talk it over. But basically, in this 1 minute, nobody can move, and it's part of the official client. And I feel like every open that we cast, there's an improvement in one way or another.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like in Open 2, remember there was that bug where after every round it doesn't say when the round is done.
All right.
Does it say now? Oh, okay, I'll have to observe again. But I feel like it was happening now because I could tell that the round was over. And sometimes I couldn't. Yeah, I remember the defuse that we didn't hear because of the leer on Icebox.
Yes.
We knew that the round was over because it said defenders diffused or diffused the spike, right?
Diffused.
So it's actually been fixed now, and Riot's really been working hard on making the Spectre experience better because we've seen that in Masters. They actually changed the loadout of view to actually even show skins. So these changes for the Spectre experience make Valorant even more fun to watch every single time we cast a new open.
It's just getting better, just like what Phenomenal's gonna do this time around. They're gonna keep getting better, which with a fast push in towards the B site. If we get control, the spike will go down, but Lolita is already hot on their heels. Drops into hell. Karo is above as well. 4v3. It's still not over for Phenomenal, but they have to be wary of where Babe and Lolita are. Whoa, they even going with a res, and all of a sudden this is a lot more dangerous. Open for the peak. Gets the spray conversion. Babe might be able to pick up the triple as well. Oh my god, Pew Pews can't even pick up one. And this is 6-0. Phenomenal have yet to win a round.
And I just want to bring up again that when we introduced the teams, we were saying that KOMOREBI Hearts was the new team, and Phenomenal has been here since Open 1, but KOMOREBI Hearts are really showing up this match.
Oh yeah, really. And it's just incredible. I mean, how are they winning these rounds? And I think the answer is that they keep switching up their positions. Now Kababe's back on A, the Sage is kind of back to default towards mid, but because of all these switches, all these changes, Phenomenal have to keep guessing. And so far, the only some form of success that they've had is to go in with a hard execute, which is what they're trying to do again. But this time around, we saw this in the first round, pistol round. Candy
I was gonna say this
and dismisses away. Yeah.
Deja vu. It's exactly round 1. It's a headshot into dismiss into safety, and the attackers are like, "Well, we can't trade. What can we do?"
Well, she's going in again. Deja vu. I have been in this place before. I'm higher on the street.
they're just left out in A main. That street they were just stuck in.
And look at where Lolita is too, pushing in towards sewers. They're gonna get sandwiched. No way that they are just going to back. Candy Fem will fall, and so will Babe. This might open up a sec, but they have to make it quick. They have to commit now.
One enemy
they're
remaining.
taking their time. They're still up towards ramps, and Karo as well as Lolita. There they go. Lolita from the back, somewhere that they didn't expect, and then Karo, of course, just stepping up to the plate for her team. 7-0.
Did you see that ramps landing? I think there were like 7 bodies there or something. Like everyone just died in that area. That was a graveyard. Like I've never seen anything like it.
God. Dude, the bodies are just hitting the floor in that time. And I mean, we just took a look at the scoreboard. It's Karo, despite being, I guess, the sub, she's up with 12 and 4. And as a killjoy as well. This is incredible. She already has her ult up again.
Enemy kill.
Oh my god, for Phenomenal. Kababe goes in for an op pick, gets the first one, and immediately support from her teammate.
Is she gonna push?
Out. No, she has knives, so I guess she could, but this is scary.
He hasn't used it.
Will not kill my ally.
Oh, okay. Walks into it. Bohiko picks up a double. This could open up B side, and they seem to want to commit to this.
This is exactly what they need, and it was just terrible timing for Kababe there. She just like walks down straight into the Phoenix's crosshair. That's an easy headshot for baby Moiko, and she gets the second frag on the Omen as well, and Victoria picks up Lolita. The site is open right now.
Remaining.
All up to Kara now. Don't count her out though. She did pick up one. Senses that Lunar Light is up there as well. Goes for the jump, takes her down. That's a double kill now. 1v3. She has her lockdown. could deploy it and push them off the site, but it seems like she wants to go all the way back from spawn, keep them guessing, as it were. And all three players, they seem to be watching up on them.
Oh no!
Because there's a Sage Wall. And well, the timer is ticking. She's got about maybe 20 seconds left. And one tap by Victoria. There we go. One round on the board for Phenomenal.
And KOMOREBI Hearts a bit too aggressive in their positioning. I feel like after the smoke was down, there was no reason for them to push up forward, but they were feeling themselves. Khabib and Scarlet got surprised by Baby Mohiko peeking out, and unfortunately, that was all Phenomenal needed to take a round away.
Getting a little bit greedy, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, you're up 7-0. I would feel greedy too. I'd probably run a sheriff and try for headshots for fun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, we've been there before, and
True.
KOMOREBI Hearts, I feel like they're gonna play serious now. They're just gonna take this next round because after that one round, they're probably just like, okay, no more.
I mean, there they go again, switching things up. Khabib now on the Vandal up towards A ramps, and the rest of the team changing things around. Omen up towards B, which is somewhere that she's been before. It's kind of this 4-1 split push from Phenomenal, but Lunar Light taking that fight head on, gonna get punished by Scarlet. This is not good. 5v4, and they have to throw bodies towards the A site now. They might be able to get control over this, but how will they hold it in the post plan?
Oh! And Karo gets a kill, and it's not looking good for Phenomenal. It's a 3v5 post plan. How are you gonna hold this? They're all on site, which is typically a bad sign because you don't have multiple angles to attack from. And for KOMOREBI Hearts, it's just about going into the side and getting those trades. They have more bodies. They can trade 3 1-for-1s, and it'll be all over.
Oh, every single one of them are going to be stuck in that back corner now. They got detained. It's just
knives
game
out. No knives.
Could have, maybe, but respect their opponents.
They were staring at that, was it the Sage? Just floating in midair. And to me, it's just KOMOREBI Hearts are playing really well. Like, they knew to let them in the site there. I think the only one static for KOMOREBI Hearts is Scarlet. She's the only one in B site every single time. But the 4 players shuffling, it means that they have such confidence to play different angles at any given point in time. I want to know who their shot caller is, but whoever's calling the shots here, calling for the different configurations left and right, I feel like is doing a really good job because it means that they have so much trust and faith in their teammates to take a different decision every round, right? Like, just being able to have that flexibility is putting Phenomenal in for a loop, and they just can't break the defenses.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, just take a look at this. Even though the positions are slightly similar from the previous round now, the Sage Wall is being used differently, and it's one that is going to take a lot of firepower to dismiss. And of course, Lolita already knows that you're there. Nice. Tries to go in, but gets shut down anyway. And now it's just a matter of shooting down the last player. Pew Pews. Has a Spectre. Pulls out the slow orb and gets punished by Kara with a headshot. 9-1. And Phenomenal they don't have a good read on this. Everywhere they try to go, they get stopped.
Turn out.
Yeah, it feels like KOMOREBI Hearts, the only time that they lost was when they actually pushed out when they didn't need to. And now that they're just playing disciplined again, it's just so confusing right now. Like, they go to B, the Killjoy's there. They go to A, the Killjoy's there again. And it seems like the coin flip that they're flipping every single time is the opposite. Like, they're always coming up short. And nice, finally getting an opening frag here. I feel like this is probably the first opening frag from Phenomenal. I'd like to say I'm not sure, but this might be what they need. Just flash, and if they can get Scarlet, it's gonna be really good. Okay, actually blinds her. Baby Mohiko finally gets the kill. This is exactly what they need. It's a 5v3 right now. Those flashes are doing a lot of work. Gets a 3rd kill as well. Baby Mohiko getting Lolita as she's trying to jump out into safety. And 5v2. Karo's still alive though. Not gonna count them out yet.
Remaining.
Well, lurking in the smoke will do the trick. Khabib will be able to make it a trade. But still, in a 1v3, she has her knife. She could do something. She's supposed to surf a little bit down into her tail. where the Cloudburst unfortunately obscures her vision,
Last
and
round before the
Fuse will
switch.
take her down 9-2. And this is the last round of the first half. Kind of antsy a little bit, but there is some potential. Phenomenal. This is what they need. They have to repeat plays like that. If not, this could be a 10-2.
A great read by the KOMOREBI Hearts here as well. They've recognized that the A execute
Placing swarm
hasn't
grenade.
really been happening for KOMOREBI Hearts, for Phenomenal. So KOMOREBI Hearts are actually stacking towards the B half of the map, and this operator, as it pays off, and Steve Khabib actually gets a killer. They break the ice wall really fast.
But not fast enough. The Boombot actually went backwards. They do get a bit of information on where Khabib is, but she pulls out her knives, and now they shouldn't be pushing into her throat anymore. They want to take Lolita down, but so much of Killjoy's utility is in place on Heaven. They have to be careful about this. Showstopper in play, misses, and they still get the headshot.
One
So not
enemy
too bad. They
remaining.
get the entry, but they have yet to make their way on the B side. In fact, there's going to be kills all across the map. They shut everything down, and Phenomenal starting to come back now. 9-3. They make that execute work.
The coffee is kicking in, it seems, and I think you mentioned getting stronger. Phenomenal are definitely getting stronger. Like in the latter parts, it seemed like they got more territory, got more competitive. Even in the 2 losses they had in the past 5 rounds, they were able to get into the site or get some form of control. So Phenomenal, I think, are finally getting getting warmed up here. And KOMOREBI Hearts, let's see if they can keep their lead up. They still have a very, very comfortable 6-round lead, but I've seen that disappear, especially in a polarizing map like Split. Your defense may be good, but is your attack as good? We'll have to see if KOMOREBI Hearts can keep this going.
Well, if they are going through with this plan, which seems to be a B execute, and Killjoy and Sage are the only ones there, this could work out in KOMOREBI's favor, but let's see what we learn. Score for us. Tags away with the Ghost, is able to pick up 1, and her Nanostorm buys her a little bit more space, but the plant goes down anyway, out in the open. There we go. It's gonna be Pew-Pews who tries to pew away, but Andyfam is already in position, and Victoria, what a wide peek, gets the headshot. We're back in with a 4v3 retake, and it actually is looking pretty good for Phenomenal if they can secure this firefight.
One
but
enemy
Lolita and
remaining.
Scarlet are able to take heads, and there we go, that's the last one. Pew-Pews will just scatter away into the wind, 10-3.
It felt like they weren't ready for that crossfire, and I feel like, okay, remember, I think there was that video where Tens was explaining that the wall on B, where the ping is right now, where the Killjoy is, you know that wall where you put it on the right side just to get into the site. All people said, that's actually not very good because when there's utility, it kind of like funnels you in utility for nades or whatever. But if there's no utility, that wall is actually really good because the defenders can only come in from one side, and that's from the defender spawn, that angle. And because of that wall, they actually had a crossfire onto the spike, which allowed them to get a 3v4 situation. And now it's actually a force buy by Phenomenal. They are down too many rounds, so they felt like they needed to go for this gamble, and it looks like it's starting to. Well, it was paying off. Candy Benson, no, and that's gonna be a triple kill for Candy Benson. Lunar Light does take them out, but Karo is gonna clean up. That was just a Ghost in Karo.
Oh my god, Karo really is showing how strong she can be. I mean, 20-7. Yeah, that's how good. And with a Ghost, now she picks up the Spectre for free, starts to build in a little bit of a bank. This is 11-3, and they don't show any signs of stopping. It's just not good. I mean, the wall was nice, and that's really what net them the previous round, the round prior to the one that we just saw. But Phenomenal are having a tough time adapting to all these changes, and right now it's going to be Mohico with a little bit of an aggressive curveball, gets a lot of information. Teams should be on their way, but Victoria unable to pick up the frags. They have the site now. 4v4, and the shots aren't quite connected. They
Spike
bought up on an
planted.
Aries, and it's going to be Khabib pushing in aggressively. The paint shells, though, will connect onto Lolita. All that's left are 2 players.
Last player standing.
I'll make that one.
Bonus round for them, so it's no big deal. But Phenomenal, we're also on kind of like it's
Yeah.
SMGs. They forced, like the previous round, they forced, and winning this round is actually very crucial for them to keep in this game. And I feel like that was a good round for them. Baby Mohiko whiffed a little bit with the Spectre, but sometimes you just really can't control that gun. Like I'd say that she had a perfect flash. Ideally, she got 2 kills off that, but she was trying to spray 2 people down, and she transferred from the first to the second one. Didn't get a second one. Had to transfer back to the first to finish one off. And that's just how the Spectre works. You just can't spray it from that.
This is gonna be fun.
It's when
Sometimes
the rounds are the Spectre, but surely. But now KOMOREBI with the full buys, this could be quite scary for Phenomenal. I want to see the way that they're holding defensively this time around is what you would expect, right? Not heads-up duels, not right in front of your face. Let's not take the aim fights. Let's play these one-and-done positions so that they push into us. Our Spectres, it's slightly more 50-50. Maybe they'll win against the Phantoms or the Vandals, but look at how KOMOREBI are clearing things. I mean, the smokes come into play perfectly. Pew Pew, though, with an instant dig, is going to be able to take down a couple more. And there we go. Ares into play again. Now it's all up to the 2 remaining players on KOMOREBI once more.
Last player standing.
Make that one.
Karo, that was a double ding. I think I heard the headshot sound, the crunch twice.
The crunch. Now it's going to be Lolita. She takes up 1. And then the trade.
See, sometimes the Spectre just does that. Like, you get a double headshot from range. Sometimes it just doesn't hit at all. It's just the nature.
It's one of those weapons with a spray that's slightly more random, maybe. But, well, right now, it's going to be KOMOREBI with a broken economy. Right, the Sheriff's in hand. Of course, Phenomenal with the weapon upgrades.
Alarm bot out.
It seems like KOMOREBI aren't doing as well on attack, but I think it's partially also due to the fact that Phenomenal are starting to come into their own with these defensive plays. The way that they use their utility this time a lot better than what we saw on attack, but still, it's going to be Baby Mohiko caught in the bad position. Khabib takes her down. Victoria is able to hold her own though, and they have the A site anchored. Rotations are already coming through, and it's 3 players up towards ramps versus 4 from spawn.
Placing sentry.
Last
player standing.
Nope. And they're gonna get 3 quick kills. I feel like the Blade Storm rush was the play there. Like she tried to get a gun and tried to like outshoot. But the thing about the Blade Storm, what the great Jets do to use it is that you just keep using a combination of your mobility and smokes to kind of like make it into a close quarter fight. And it felt like her hiding there, waiting for them to come in, kind of removes that advantage you have with the Blade Storm. Because like you can run and shoot with the Blade Storm, you can jump and shoot with the Blade Storm. That's what you want to incorporate with the Blade Storm. And being able to have that extra movement as an advantage is why you use Blade Storm. I feel like changing to the Phantom there basically puts you on even ground against the Raze. That's not what you want for an ultimate.
A moving target is a target that's much more difficult to hit, and that's why the Blade Storm is such a strong tool. But of course, she backed in on her Phantom earlier on. Now it's Mohiko, who yet again gets caught out. Gets the furnace, but traded.
He saw that knife switch. That's a bad habit some players have. And that
kill
knife
instantly,
switch
you can go for the the reload, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But now, KOMOREBI has control over top mid. In fact, they go in for the res. Karo does get shut down though, so it's going to be a pretty readable A hit now for Phenomenal.
They don't clear his corner. Someone's gonna die. Yep.
1, 2.
But let's see. That's a problem with you use a jet smoke to go through. People think it's clear. The first and the second one are fine because they're like, there's a smoke still there. But once smoke clears, no one actually check the corner. And because that Victoria just, exactly, and it's basically free kills because the third player thinks, oh yeah, that corner. And Lolita.
I am not just
okay, I thought it was gonna be around for Phenomenal already. I did not expect that from Lolita, but that headshot onto the Omen was.
It was like a 1vx situation for her.
1v3, yeah.
Yeah, Victoria got off the spike and went in for the duel against Lolita.
I think that was okay for Victoria because getting the spike defuse sound kind of like throws Lolita off. So Lolita has to guess like is Omen actually defusing or is he pushing me? Getting that timing, unfortunately, it was unlucky timing for Victoria because Lolita actually heard the footsteps. Like hearing those footsteps will actually give it away.
Truly, and that's unfortunate. That's kind of, I think, the difference that I'm seeing between Phenomenal and KOMOREBI is the way that Phenomenal does a lot better when they minimize exposure and use their utility a lot more cleverly, right? Like when they go in to trade and buy information, they do it in a way that they don't expose themselves. But right now, it's just kind of throwing bodies at the equation. This time, Phenomenal is doing a lot better because there was a run it back in play, and Victoria will be able to shut Scarlet down. They stay alive for one more round, but they have to make it back 5 rounds in a row to push us into overtime.
Yeah, and it seems like they can still stick to this game. Phenomenal are. I've made it pretty close. Like what was the start? 9-3, and they kind of cut the lead down by a little bit. It was a 6-round advantage. Now it's a 5-round advantage. Still not that close, but at least they're not falling too far behind anymore on this defense side.
Too far, but let's see what happens this time around. We have KOMOREBI with slightly economy, so we're back onto pistols, and of course, hearing all these gunshots, they're gonna try to keep them trapped there with the slow orb. The rest of the team kind of rotating up towards ropes as well. Now they want to go in for the peak. There is an Omen Dark cover in play, though. Are they gonna push past this? Okay, no, they don't.
Actually not.
They hear the turret,
pistols.
and I think that's why.
Yeah, I think with pistols, like you might want to do some surprising stuff, but it seems like Split is a difficult map to kind of like infiltrate.
No. Okay. No. Kind of a foiled plan, but yeah, against pistols, this should be phenomenal. Round by Cairo. My God, gets a headshot onto Nice. Now Mohito does find Kabe, but the question remains: where are the KOMOREBI Hearts players going to head towards? And it seems like it's A, but of course, Phenomenal don't quite know this.
They don't have the utility anymore to force themselves into the site. So as long as Scarlet can actually stay alive here, Victoria is alive here. I don't think the plan is going to go down at all. Oh! Okay, never mind. I just called it. And she can stay alive. All right, they get the rest onto Nice, but this seems to be gonna be a pretty good eco round for the KOMOREBI Hearts. If they can hold this, so that was a snap to the head. Maybe Mohiko with a quick headshot onto Karo. Let's see if she can get this nice flash there. Almost whiffs that spray, but gets candy fast. The only one left. We've seen her in the clutch, but getting attacked from both sides, nothing she can do about that.
Yeah, well-timed push from Mohiko and the rest of her team. Lunar Light coming in from the back as Mohiko pushed it in front. That's what you want to do. Keep them trapped in elbow. But of course, there was a world where that could have worked out for KOMOREBI Hearts. It came pretty close. The fact that they are able to take players like Victoria down, they secure a free weapon. I mean, that's pretty darn good already. At the very least, it's economical damage down to 2 players. I think Victoria gets a little bit antsy at times. She goes in for peaks where she kind of gets punished repeatedly. Now, still, they're starting to come back, but they need to keep this up. A single mistake and it could be game over.
And Karo has slowed down a bit as well. Only has 22 kills right now in round 20. Remember, going to the second half, we mentioned that she had 20 kills already, and it seems like she's only had 2 kills for the past 8 rounds.
Maybe because Killjoy on attack is a little bit more difficult, but here we go. We start things off with Scarlet, but Nice puts a stop to it. In fact, Pew's does take one down over by elbow as well. Spike dropped in the open, and Pew's just throws a slow orb into that area so that no one can retrieve it. Even goes in and gets one fadeaway headshot. All onto the Babe, who tries to find Lunar's head. But guess what? With the high advantage, she will be able to take your scalp instead. 12-9, and Phenomenal starting to come back. This is good. Lunar Light has her lockdown as well, which could help them in, whether retakes or pushing people off sites. I want to believe. I want to believe in Phenomenal.
Out.
I mean, Lunar Light has showed up. Like,
Placing alarm
Karo
bot.
had 20 kills when she had 12 going to this half, but she already almost doubled her kill count at 22 kills right now, and meanwhile Karo is at 23, so she's catching up. And Lunar Light is showing up here. Again, both Killjoys excelling in defense, definitely showing the power of a Sentinel on defense, especially on Split, defender-sided map. Nice does not get the shot onto Victoria, but that's exactly what you were calling out just now. Sorry, Scarlet. I think it seems like both Omens are actually swinging really wide. Both Scarlet and Victoria seem to have the same like wide swing tendencies.
Well, because of the wide swing, I guess, made it a little bit difficult for Nice to connect the shot, so Scarlet stays alive, and the team will be rotating and making a long trip over onto the A site.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see on your right here, we have Kababe with her knives. She has it. She has a frenzy up as well. She's going to stay and lurk over by mid while the rest of her squad makes their way onto the A site where Victoria is. The one player who, I mean, she buys a lot of time with her utility, but she has not been able to defend and anchor down sites effectively. So this could be the opening that KOMOREBI are looking for. Oh, this time.
Victoria, her swing
30
pays off
seconds
this
left.
time, and it looks like Phenomenal are still holding the defense.
Last player
Let's see if
standing.
Lolita can actually.
Flawless.
Nope, no friendly bullets there. Was that a Phantom she was spraying?
That looked good. I don't know. She was running and gunning with that thing, so I thought it might have been a Spectre.
Yeah, maybe some habits from the pre-Phantom nerf are still there.
Maybe.
Remember, running accuracy
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
Phantom
yeah.
was pretty nuts. Like, I was a Vandal main, and then there were days where I just couldn't hit shots, and I
Yeah.
picked up the
Swap to
Phantom. Yeah, and I was like, people
So,
have been
hey,
talking
that's
about the Phantom run and gun, and then let me try that. And you can actually you could actually run and gun with the Phantom before.
Yeah.
Not so much now.
Not so much now, for sure. Still a little bit weird. I mean, Tens has videos showing up, but here we go. It's going to be Karo with a Phantom. Deploys her lockdown into its B side, but look at where the spike is. It's up towards ramps.
It's gonna be a bit. Let's see if they fall for it. Oh, they actually
do.
get the defender lockdown out, and they rotated 4 on to B, by the way. But I think they smell something big. Phoenix is rotating back to A. And then
Good job, Victoria.
You will
Headshot,
not
and,
kill my
Spike
allies.
might have been dropped as well. Well, no, not quite. The res comes in fact, but the rotations are already up towards
Spike
8
down
minutes.
A.
Mojiko as well as Nice, and they put a stop to this madness. It's all up to Candy Femme and Kababe now. Kababe's trying to make her way up from the ropes, but she's gonna face off against 2 players. But wow, what a shot from Candy! She's looking up against 2. Here's the jumps from Victoria as well, but gonna get blinded by a
player
bit.
standing.
Does not swing in time.
Spike
Victoria
down A.
now she's into her. Babe, unless she can flick 180 a lot. Okay. 3 players on her tail now. She stays alive for a second. Let's slow things down a bit. You have your knives, Kababe.
30
Yeah.
seconds left.
The Eagle Blade Storm go for a hero play here. I feel like that's the way to go.
Pull some Korean jet shenanigans. She wants to
Yeah.
retrieve the spike, but Victoria's watching this like a hawk.
Give me some of that soul dam.
Okay. 15 seconds left. Channel your inner soul dam? No?
10 seconds left.
This mate. Oh.
That's gonna be a whip. All right, maybe she wasn't feeling it.
Maybe. But let's just take a look at the score for a second, shall we?
Yeah,
12,
it's
11. 5 wins in a row for Phenomenal now, and hey, I mean, it's a pretty nice little bell curve, I guess, for both sides. You know, KOMOREBI Hearts won, I guess, what, 7? 7, yeah, 7 rounds in a row at the start, and now Phenomenal starting to win, maybe the 6th round in a row if they make this work. And that would push us into overtime. So looking pretty good, but Babe still has her knives. Has not used them yet.
I feel like combine it with the Omen smokes to take Victoria out. They know the setup for Phenomenal has been the same every single
Yeah.
round. It's not like KOMOREBI Hearts on defense where they shuffled everything out. So for me, the KOMOREBI Hearts are struggling with the attacking side because they're not as decisive. And I feel like being able to take Victoria out is going to be the answer. And let's see if Candy Fam can actually do this. No, it's actually a 1-for-1 trade, but Candy Fam has been tracking pretty well for the side of KOMOREBI Hearts. It feels like it's going to be a waste to
Spike
trade that
planted.
Reyna, especially, who can snowball.
Yeah, this could actually work out for KOMOREBI.
Here.
The way that they played it, they waited for Victoria's paranoia first
Careful now.
before rushing into the side, and now, ooh, Mohiko, I think her hot hands actually missed. It bounced off the wall and dropping down. They don't check Lolita. Fuse will actually make a trade. 2v2 now, and Khabib is still holding onto her knives and the off angle on from elbow. She backs up. Here's them pushing in. Time is up.
One
Yes,
enemy
they don't have
remaining.
much time.
Last
It's gonna be
player
K-Ro makes a
standing.
trade. 1v1. Killjoy versus Killjoy. Who's gonna get it? Moonlight does not check K-Ro. And
Attackers win.
unfortunately will fall to the headshot. 13-11.
No what?
And
That
that
was-
is it.
That is heartbreaking for Phenomenal. They were mounting a comeback, and it just ended up with a Killjoy diff here. Look at both Killjoys topping the board. Like the duelists don't even have anything to say here. Victoria came in number 3 with 5 first bloods and an Omen. You were talking about Victoria being antsy and swinging. She was actually getting those kills here and there. Like she got punished for it a few times, but she was doing her job. And K-Ro really showed up. Fell off a little bit at the first part of the second half, but immediately pulled it back for this last round. Another 13-11. Game number 1 was 13-11 as well. Almost went to overtime, but KOMOREBI Hearts sealed the deal. And Phenomenal, like it looked like a really one-sided map at first, but it really just shows how Split is such a defender-sided map. And for teams to mount a successful attack on this map, they need to be more coordinated because you really need those set executes to get into the map. And it feels like for both sides, they had difficulties getting to the map. Might be the agent picks, it might be just the team not knowing how to execute that efficiently on Split. But it felt like both teams didn't really have the strength to execute unless they get the default pickoffs.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely it. You know, they kept trying, whether it was a ramps, garage. I mean, at least for KOMOREBI Hearts towards the end of the game, it kind of seemed like they started to adapt because there wasn't any shuffling from Phenomenal's defense. They started to figure out, okay, Victoria's going to be here. She's going to use her paranoia at this time. Let's wait for it, and then we push in. Things like that, you know, makes it a little bit easier. But then again, pushing in, trying to hold it post-plant, they still managed to lose 4 players, right? So it really does show that Split is one of those maps that unless you have a very well-coordinated execution, or if you have a fragging potential, you're able to maybe find some cracks in the defense, then it is going to be a little bit more possible. But yeah, this time KOMOREBI Hearts just managed to capitalize on one or two of those mistakes, and it's very unfortunate. But you still see both Killjoys are the ones topping the scoreboard.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a defensive center, and both Killjoys were racking up the kills on defense. And we mentioned anchors in the previous map. In this map, the Killjoys were definitely the anchors, and they played really well. And both teams were kept into game because of the Killjoy anchor holds, and it just made it very difficult for the attackers, whichever team, to actually get into the site. And it was such an amazing game, like seeing the back and forth, seeing the one-sidedness in one half and flipping to the other side, and it really goes to show how polarizing Split can be. And between the two teams, KOMOREBI Hearts won our hearts this time around, and Phenomenal is suffering the heartbreak, unfortunately. They are eliminated from the tournament, and KOMOREBI Hearts, let's see if they can actually keep going forward. Meanwhile, the next game, they will, yeah.
Oh, next game would be, well, could be either Asteria or Wolf Pink against W's Valkyries. Meanwhile, KOMOREBI Hearts actually go on to face off against Fuma Angels.
Oh, yeah, we
Unfortunately,
were
that game
watching
won't
them.
be streamed. Yeah, Fuma Angels. But yeah, unfortunately, that is true. Phenomenal will be out of this tournament. But well, a little bit of a fun fact. I mean, you are a man of culture, you know, a fellow, I guess, weeb.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what KOMOREBI means?
Is it the light fluttering onto the trees?
Yeah, that's exactly
okay,
it.
yes.
So, you know, it's okay. Well, at least from what I see on Google, it's the Japanese expression for sunlight as it filters through trees.
Yeah.
So
it kind of has those god ray effects because
Yeah.
of the shade, right? You see it a lot in anime.
Super
I
pretty.
think that that was one of the words that it came up in some of those lists, like words in a different language that can't be directly translated.
yeah,
to English.
exactly.
It's,
There's no word
the-
for that in English.
Exactly. So it's a really nice phenomenon, and it's really rare to see that. It takes a specific like time of the day, like sometime
Mhm.
really early in the morning when day is about to break, and then the leaves are just like kind of like thick enough to kind of
Yeah.
make those art like natural god rays, I would say. Yeah,
But
so
I mean,
that's yeah.
yeah, if you think about it, for Team Phenomenal, I mean, they've been around since the very first FSL Valorant Open, but even though they don't really make it into playoffs, they still keep trying, and I think it's not all doom and gloom for them. They might have lost this time around. They might have been knocked out of the tournament, but they are still somewhere. I mean, they've racked up points. I think they're somewhere on the total overall FSL Valorant Open circuit, somewhere on the board. And if you think about it, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, right? If you think about like the trees and the shrubbery, there is a little bit of light that shines through the taller trees, maybe like Komorebi hearts, but they still hit the grass, the little shrubs at the bottom, and they start to grow. We start to see teams come back. They make it as close as 11-13. Who knows? Maybe next time it's going to be phenomenal with 13 instead of Komorebi hearts. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. And we're gonna go for a short break, and stay
Oh,
tuned because we are going to watch more Valorant action here all the way till the evening. So do stay tuned. If you're hungry, get some snacks. There's also you could also order some bubble tea or whatever. Just stay tuned and do enjoy the show because next matchup is gonna be pretty interesting with W's Valkyries against the winner of Asteria versus Wolfpink. So you might see Asteria again.